Today, we are in the community of Ashland down here in Angleton, Texas. We are going to be featuring a Hovnanian home in this amenity-rich community. You're going to want to stay tuned to see all the things that Hovnanian is doing and Ashland are doing to make sure that you have the best community right here in this neighborhood. If you're looking to move in the next 9 days or 9 months, you've got to get with us so that we can make sure that we plan out your next move strategically so that we're making the best decision for you and your family. So if you need to get in contact with us, all you have to do is click on the link, scan our QR code, and you'll be able to get in touch with us right away or send us a direct message. Now, if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see a video guide that'll let you know exactly where we're going to be and what we're going to be doing, from the video tour to meeting with the sales consultant. Let's go check out this beautiful home. All right, so it may be a windy day, but once we get inside, you won't have to worry. Let's check out this floor plan. All right, so right now we are in the Passion Flower floor plan. This is a 2,091 square foot home, and it's currently set up as a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom with an office or flex space. But this home is available to be set up as a 5-bedroom option if you need all that space. Let's go check out the main living area. I really love this main living area. Open concept floor plan. So you've got your kitchen over here on this side, dining, living area, but you've got really huge vaulted ceilings, right? This is the Passion Flower floor plan. So this is going to be your main living area. Whenever you come into this home, it's got a great appeal and a great hallway leading over here to this living area. But yeah, so you've got a really nice family room. Off the family room, you've got these really large windows that go out to the covered patio. All of the floor plans that are the Passion Flower, they all have a covered patio. So you don't have to worry about that. You'll be able to enjoy that. And then this one is a really nice lot, and there's some other really nice lots available if you need a bigger yard. And so we got a little, show you a little bit of that. And then this is your informal dining area over here on this side. And I call it informal just because it's that open concept. It's not closed off, you know, there's no door or entry. So it's informal dining, but it's a really large dining area. Right here we've got 8 seats at this table. And actually there's room that you could get a bigger dining table if you needed it, right? Because this floor plan does have up to 5 bedrooms. Currently, it's set up as that 4-bedroom with an office or flex space. But yeah, so plenty of area here in the dining room, plenty of area over here in the family room. You've got these vaulted ceilings. You've got a center fixture with a ceiling fan in the middle, but then you've also got this really nice recessed lighting, making it really bright in here. And you've got 2 windows there and 3 windows on that side with a window in the door. So you've got lots of natural lighting coming in here, all leading to this kitchen. So, of course, they've got it filled up with snacks. And, you know, when you buy this home, we're gonna fill it up with briskets and see how many briskets we can get on this bar. This is a really large island. One thing that I think it might be hard to notice here, but this isn't a small island. It's really deep. So you have lots of room, and it's set up with that low bar style. You've got bar stools underneath. So again, this can be like that breakfast room type feel. You know, have the kids eat there or just eat a quick breakfast right there. Now this is the we're going to talk about the different options that they have on these homes and these floor plans. This is set up as the farmhouse right now. So they also have the loft option, which is going to have a little bit more modern features and finish. And this one's going to have a little bit more of that country or rustic feel, which I really like. And I really think that it goes well down here in Angleton. So we've got this large sink here. You got this large farmhouse sink that goes through onto the front side. And then I really love the finish that they include on all of the appliances. So you've got your dishwasher here with this brushed look on the handles, but then they've even got some coloring, right? So these are white. So like, look, when's the last time you saw a stainless steel but white oven? It's carried over to the microwave, and you've got this really nice brushed, almost copper look to it. Really nice, and I think it goes really well with this style. Now this is color palette 5. They've got 6 different options for their color palettes, but the way that this is set up, the color palettes really refer to like the tile, countertops, cabinets, things like that. And so those are what the differences would be. And this one, if you want to buy this one or have this one built, it's the farmhouse, and the option would be 5. So that's gonna, just cover all the different colors here that you see. Now, one thing I would like to mention is that a lot of these new construction homes, they don't even have the hardware. They just, have you just grab underneath, but they've gone that extra step, included this nice matte black or flat black hardware here. You've got really great like subway tile wainscoting here, hard surface countertops, and then it's even got a little bit of the custom look with the cabinets here being a little bit elevated. It's not all just one height at the top. And then one of the coolest things I think that they include that really does make this feel farmhouse is they've got these floating shelves here so that you can, just have something set out, something a little decorative. And it just kind of changes the overall vibe and appearance. On this side though, I did want to mention, you do have this, with this range that they have here, it is a 6-burner range, right? And then you've got the griddle top for the middle. So really great oven. And then above that, the microwave, right? So really nice oven that comes with the home. And then over here, you can get the matching refrigerator. So just tying the whole kitchen together, making it feel like a high-end, affordable luxury. And that's something that Jessica and I are going to talk about, is this affordable luxury style. So you get a really affordable and great home, but it doesn't break the bank, right? So let's go check out the primary bedroom now. All right, so again, we were talking affordable luxury a minute ago. You can get really nice fixtures on this. If you need a ceiling fan in your primary bedroom, you can definitely do that. But they do have some high-end features that you can choose from, right? If you wanted more of like the chandelier style, you could get that in here. So one thing is the flooring. A lot of people are using this luxury vinyl plank, and this is carried throughout the house, but it's not the luxury vinyl plank. These are actual wood look tile, right? So you've got a little bit stronger construction material with the tile. And then this is a really nice sized bedroom, right? This is only 2,091 square feet, but they're making a really efficient use of the home. I mean, this is a 5-bedroom home at 2,000 square feet, or almost 2,100 square feet. And then you still get this large primary room. All right, and look, we've still got high ceilings, right? And then over here on the wall, you've got some paneling, some board and batten right there. So it makes it feel just that much better, and a very affordable home, very affordable product. Now right here, we're gonna walk into our primary bathroom, the primary suite here. You've got the dual sink vanity, and you have a lot of room here. It's not really all that close together. And then look at the lighting that they've gone with here. You don't just have one solid mirror with an overhead light. You've got really nice lighting in here, and the farmhouse feel and vibe has gone all the way into the bathroom. Now, to continue with that, you've got the rod holder, the towel holder there, the door handles, everything's just like that, including the shower. They've got this barn door style shower on door on rollers. Now they do have tub options if you are someone that needs a tub with your primary bedroom, but this one is set up with this really nice and really cute farmhouse style sliding glass door. And then right here we have our water closet, and it's going to have the same types of finish as everywhere else. So even the toilet paper holder is the same finish. And so yeah, really great primary space. Over here though, on this other side is where you're gonna have your primary closet. And so this primary closet, it's really large for a 2,100 square foot, 5-bedroom house, right? You're probably wondering, where are they sacrificing this space? And I really don't think that they're giving up space in other areas. You've got great size secondary bedrooms, and we're gonna go take a look at that right now. First, we're gonna make a quick stop at the office area, which is going to be the option on the 5th bedroom, right? This one's set up as 4 with this office area or flex space. And so if you wanted it as an office, you could get doors on it. But if you just want it to be like a kid play area, maybe this is where they have their toys, maybe this is where you have your kids' desk so they can do their homework, stuff like that. Or you could do a man cave, right? Maybe this just be the spot where you watch all your games. Get some blackout curtains and put on the Texans, put on the Astros, watch the Rockets, something like that. Now we're going down one of the hallways, and this is the hallway that actually leads to the utility room, which is right off this way here that we're walking into. Really nice size utility room. And then off of this utility room is where we have one of our secondary bedrooms. So great space, and you've even got high ceilings in here in the secondary bedroom. So I really love the ceiling height. And then also, I cannot miss this. I mean, this is the Leaf Thief. Anybody that's got kids that have read this book, this is hilarious. This thing looks just like the Leaf Thief. So something that I'm gonna be excited to show my son because he loves the Leaf Thief. And you could set this up perfect. But this could just be any space that you'd want to have their own access to a secondary bath, right? Because this is 3 bathrooms on this floor plan, and right here we actually have one of the bathrooms, right? But this one is separate from all the other bedrooms, okay? And you've got a really nice size tub shower in here, a toilet, and then a single sink vanity. And the farmhouse vibe is still going all the way throughout the house. Doorknobs, fixtures, hardware, everything's gonna be the same. And then on this side, you're probably thinking this is a small coat closet, right? This is a jumbo coat closet. I mean, you could fit 1,000 burkas in this thing, right? But I'd be using it more for like, cleaning supplies and, spare, well, you'd use the ladder in the garage, but I mean, you can put a lot of stuff in here. And I actually like that they have it set up with a little buffet table in here, because if you did want to have some of those formal like cutlery, then you could set something like this up in here. And this could be a really nice storage space that you'd want to keep things that aren't gonna, you don't want broken or whatever. Or maybe, in Texas, we just have a lot of stuff. Right, I've noticed that with a lot of my clients is that we've got a lot of stuff. So it's a great spot. And then as I walk down this large hallway, right here would be the access to the 2-car garage. And then the entry door is right there. And this is actually where the other bedrooms are. This would be bedroom 3 and 4. So let's go check this one out first. This bedroom is the one at the front of the house. So you've got some really nice windows letting in some natural light. You've got a really great size closet over here, nice light fixture and fan, but a large bedroom really for a secondary bedroom. And this floor plan's only 2,100 square feet. So let's check out the other bedroom. And this bedroom's large, right? So on this side, we're gonna have the closet. This is either a full size, this looks like a full size bed in here, but you could easily fit a queen bed in here if you wanted, but you have plenty of room. You can set up a desk in the corner, right? If you want your child to have like a desk, or somebody that was using this room needed a desk. Lots of room in that these other bedrooms. And then this is our third bath, okay? So set up really similar to the other one, except this one's set up with a little bit different glass door than you had in the primary. Now, if you were to build one of these, they do have it where you can get a tub in there if you want, right? Some people want a lot of tubs, some people want no tubs. It's really your choice. And in this area would be the garage area here. And so whenever you do come and tour one of these yourself, they're gonna have really great information about the product, the amenities that they have, where you're actually located, and then they've got this great area that's set up with their website, really large screen. They can take you through all the different options and upgrades and lots. And then this is where you would come and meet with one of the sales consultants and just discuss how you're gonna enjoy living down here in Angleton. And then I also wanted to show you that there is even a map over on this side so you can kind of see where we're at. You know, some people need that, right? They need to see, hey, you know, what's the development gonna look like? What does it currently look like? Where are we at? How do I access some of these other things? And if you're not familiar with being down here in Angleton, it really is nice to be able to just kind of see how this fits in with the lifestyle that you want to live. So if you're interested in checking out the Passion Flower floor plan, definitely contact us. Get in touch with us. We'll make sure that we get you the best deal, and that Jessica knows to give you priority treatment whenever you come down and look at one of these homes. And yeah, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. We've got a lot more information coming. All right, so we've got a bonus floor plan to show you. We're standing in the Tigris floor plan from Hovnanian in the neighborhood of Ashland. So this floor plan is 2,491 square feet. It's got 5 full bedrooms, 3 full baths. This one has a 3-car garage, and it has a rec room upstairs. Not to mention the fact that 2 of the bedrooms are downstairs. So if you wanted to do that multi-generational living, or you had somebody that had trouble with stairs, we could get them downstairs in that front bedroom. This would be the perfect floor plan if you need a lot of home and you want to be in Ashland and you want a great builder. So let's tour this model home right now. All right, let's check it out. All right, so again, this is the Tigris floor plan. This is a 2,491 square foot home. This is a 5-bedroom, it's 2-story. This one also comes with a 3-car garage. So great floor plan here. You got this really great entry here. Once you come down the hallway, you've got a really great space here. Behind me, you got a larger family room than we had in the other floor plan. And so you've still got these same like great windows back here. This floor plan is going to come with that covered patio. You've got the recessed lights and the ceiling fan, but really, really large family room here. So they've got a large sectional here, and you could even have another love seat. Lots of space. And then this is the dining area over here. This is an even larger dining room than we had in that other floor plan. This one again is the Tigris. That one was the Passion Flower. So an even larger, of course, it's a bigger home, 2,491 square feet, right? So it's gonna have a bigger island than the other one had. And then this one is a different color palette. This floor plan actually is set up in the loft option, not the farmhouse like we had in the other one. And they've, when we talked about affordable luxury, when we were sitting down with Jessica, one of the things is that you're not going to be able to see it in this video, but they've actually got leathered granite in this floor plan as one of the options. And so it's got a really nice leather feel to it whenever you're actually working on the countertop, but everything you'd expect from hard surface countertops. Large sink here, and again, this is the loft style, so the styling is going to be a little bit different than you would get in the farmhouse. You can see that it's a little bit more modern with its overall look and appeal, a little bit more sleek. You've still got this great range here, microwave above. You've got the stainless steel dishwasher, big sink, and you know, you can fit even more briskets on the island. Then you've got your pantry over there. And then we're gonna come and check out the primary bedroom. So, large primary bedroom. They've got a king size bed in here. They've got a different type of paneling here on this wall, which I really like this style because it fits the overall bed and furniture setup that they have in this room, but the other one's very nice too. And then you've actually got a little bit of depth here on this side of the primary bedroom. So lots of room to actually have you know, some sort of wardrobe or dresser below like a TV, or if you don't want a TV, you know, that's up to you on your lifestyle. And that leads into our primary bathroom. Now, great double sink vanity. And then they've actually got some other space right here that, you know, if you wanted like a little makeup, getting ready area, something like that, or, you know, anything that you really need, you could do. And so you can just tell that it has a little bit more room than that last floor plan that we looked at. And they've got these great rollers and features on this one as well. They've got these really great, but they're rollers and features, but you've got the polished finish to it instead of the brushed. And then in here, we've got a large walk-in closet. This one, the last one could fit one gun safe. This one could easily fit 2 or 3 high-end gun safes. So lots of room here in the bathroom. So we're gonna go check out the bedrooms in the upstairs area. So you can see just what it would look like if you were to actually come and walk this floor plan. So right off of the dining area is where we're gonna have our staircase leading upstairs. But before we do that, we're actually gonna come and check out the other bedroom that is downstairs. So you do have, you know, if you've got an older family member or somebody that has trouble with stairs, they'll still be able to move in or live with you or come and visit, because you could have a guest bedroom downstairs, just like, you know, the primary is downstairs. And so I really love that option, and that more builders are including that, because there's so many times that, you know, our customers, they're just disappointed with that, right? They don't want all the bedrooms upstairs, and they don't want, you know, there's only one bedroom downstairs. So I love that they have that option here. And then we've got a really great secondary bath right here off of the main entry hallway. It's a nice sized bathroom. You've got a little closet behind this door. You've got the single sink vanity. You could set this up with a tub if you want. Then over off this way, you're actually gonna have a mud room here. This would be your access to the 3-car garage. And then you've got a really nice sized utility room, right? So that would cover everything downstairs. Next, we're gonna check out the upstairs. All right, so again, this is a 5-bedroom floor plan with 2 of those bedrooms downstairs, right? You've got the living room, dining room, and kitchen. And then when you get upstairs, you've got a really great rec room. So if you want the kids to have a play area, or you just need a secondary living space, you need a space for kids to work on homework, things like that, great option. That way they keep everything out of the main living area and up here in this private living area for anybody using these other secondary bedrooms. Now this is the 3rd bedroom. Upstairs, facing the front of the house. You got a nice window, you're gonna get some good light. You've got a good sized closet. And then directly on the other side of this one, you've got another bedroom. This one's set up just the same as the last one. You're gonna be able to fit full size or queen bed in here very comfortably. And then on the other side of the rec room is where we're going to have our 5th bedroom. And look at, I love how they have this set up. Look at how much space you have in this bedroom, right? They've got 2 twin beds, and you're able to still have a dresser in the middle. I know that my boys would love something like this, and because they love being in the same room. So maybe that would be the case for you and your family. And then you've got a really nice sized closet over on this side. And then this is the bathroom up here. This is the third bathroom. So this is the one for the upstairs, right? You've got a really, in the other secondary bathroom, you had a little smaller vanity. You have a nice large size vanity, which I think is great because you have 3 bedrooms up here, right? And then this one does have the tub, which you can get in the other one, but nice tile wainscoting. Really great floor plan. If you need 2,500 square feet, this one's $2,491, right? So if you need a space like this, if you're looking to just have that extra room, right? Like I said, 5 bedrooms, plus you get a rec room. You've got the living room, dining room, and kitchen downstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs. Really great option. This is the biggest one that they do build in the neighborhood, but I really think that it would work for most families' needs. So thanks for sticking around. We'd love to talk to you, whether or not you want to buy this home or any other home, or if you're moving in the next 9 days or 9 months, just get with us and we'll plan out the perfect neighborhood, the perfect house, the perfect builder, whether you want resale, new construction, certain schools, we can help you make your dream a reality. All right. So today we're sitting down with Jessica here with Hovnanian Homes in Angleton, and this is the Ashland community. So Jessica, thank you so much for being here with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're excited to find out about it. So what would you say is like the top 3 reasons somebody might be looking to move here to Ashland?
Love that. Top 3 is going to be your amenities here,
Okay.
the on-site school, and then the just proximity that you have to 288 and Highway 35.
Okay, yeah. So I love the proximity to the freeway, right? We're not on the freeway at all, but very close, within like 5 minutes to 288 or less. Then you mentioned the schools, which they've got these great brand new schools. You've got the elementary school, and then you've also got a junior high. And then the high school is actually probably only about 10 minutes away. So yeah, really quick access. And then the amenities. I'm excited to learn about these amenities because I don't think, they're not all finished yet, right?
Not quite.
Okay, so let's go into the amenities first. What's really gonna attract people to move to this community? What are the amenities that you have out here?
Yeah, so we're gonna have 2 pools essentially, a resort style pool and a junior Olympic lap pool. So you kind of get both relaxation and that exercise.
Right.
We're gonna have a clubhouse. We're gonna have 7 miles of walking trails, pocket parks throughout, and playgrounds, all of the work. So those are gonna be your main amenities here.
Right, no, I love that. So you're gonna have multiple parks, multiple pools, a clubhouse area. Is there gonna be a gym associated with that or no gym?
I don't believe a gym, but event space essentially.
Okay.
So rent out the space, barbecue parties, things like that.
Perfect, yeah. So lots of amenities here. Lots of things that you're not going to have to travel to enjoy living in one of these homes here in Ashland. And so Hovnanian, they've got a great product, and we're going to talk about exactly what they are building out here. So what type of homes are you building out here?
Yes, so we are going to have 6 different floor plans, essentially ranging from 1,600 square feet to about 2,500 square feet.
Okay.
This is going to be more tailored to those first-time home buyers, maybe retirees who are looking to downsize. Those are going to be really that main clientele that we're looking at here.
Right, right. Now this is going to be a big development, and so offering a wide array of square footage is 1,600 up to 2,500 square feet. It can give you a lot of home, but yeah, more of like a starter home or entry level, or just not needing as much space. But if somebody does have a family or needs bedrooms, what are the bedroom counts on these floor plans?
Yeah, so still with that affordability in that way too, we offer 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. So at the 2,500 square foot plan, do you have one plan that has 5 or how many plans do you have?
We actually have 2.
Two
so
floor plans.
The one that we are in currently, that one is a 4-bedroom standard, but with a flex space that can be turned into a 5th bedroom.
Okay.
So that could be a 5-bedroom if you wanted it, and it's a single story, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah.
Or the 2-story with the 5 bedrooms. Those are going to be the 2 that we have.
Yeah, no, I love that. So you've got the 2-story, 5-bedroom floor plan, or you've got the 1-story, 4 or 5-bedroom floor plan, depending on how you want to utilize that 5th bedroom area. You could have it be like a flex space, which you could use for like a home office if you only need 4 bedrooms. But if you did need that 5th bedroom, you've got 2 different floor plans. One that's single story, in case you do not like stairs, you know, and that's going to be the one that we're in currently. But then if you don't mind the stairs, you might be able to, you know, get a little bit better of a lot, you know, since the square footage is stacked on top. So no, I love that option that, even though you have, you do have some bigger floor plans, they can fit 5 bedrooms. Because we say starter homes are more affordable homes, but really, I mean, this is a home that you could live in and raise your kids in the whole time they're in school.
Absolutely.
Right? You don't have to start and then go buy another home. You could start in this home and finish, you know, raising your kids in this home.
Absolutely.
So no, that's really great. And then if you did need that extra backyard space, hey, let's go with the 2-story, right? No, so I love that. So what are the average lot sizes out here in this community?
So this is going to be in different sections.
Okay.
So different sections will have different lot sizes. The section that we're currently building in is going to be 55.
Okay.
So around 55 to like 120 is what you're looking at.
Right.
Some vary. Again, if you have more premium lots, those are going to be a little bit bigger, but standard will be 55.
Right, okay. So in 55, she's referring to that front elevation. If you've watched many of our videos, you know that's how these builders discuss lots, but 55 by 120. So we're talking about roughly 7,000 square feet for one of these lots. Of course, if you pick one of the ones that you don't have a home on yet, you could pick, you know, a more pie-shaped lot, or, you know, a corner lot, cul-de-sac lot, you know, corner lot, however you want, you could actually choose. And, you know, that brings me up to one other thing, is that the lots, getting into this community now, while you still have a lot of lots available, is really going to be your best way to maximize your long-term value, right? Picking the perfect lot, because if you get one right at the entrance of a neighborhood on more of a pass-through street, even though they've designed this neighborhood not to have many of those pass-through streets, you can choose one that's going to better fit that long-term value if you're thinking about, well, hey, what if I do want to sell in 5 years, right? You know, and if you're wanting to do that, that's exactly how, you know, Justin and I and our team can help you to choose the best lot and the best floor plan that fits your family's needs. So no, thank you so much for sharing that about those different lots. What it is a new community, so
Yes.
what is available now here in this community?
Yes, so as far as homes go, we do have about 7 homes ready as far as inventory goes.
Awesome.
So selections and everything have been made, but that's going to be your most affordable choice. So we have
Right.
7 of those ready to go, ready for some beautiful families to move into. So
Yeah, I love that. So 7 homes ready to go now, and you said they could close on those in April, right?
Correct, yes.
Perfect. Okay, so if you want to get into this community now, you could be into this neighborhood by April, enjoying the summer down here in Ashland. So I love that. And on those 7 that are currently available, what are the price points on those?
So our lowest one is going to be right about $286 for that, and then highest is going to be right now about $360.
Okay.
And that's going to be for that 5-bedroom option too.
Yeah.
So really nice.
Yeah, no, I love that. So 286 to about 360. That's not that wide of a range, considering that the 2,500 square foot 5-bedroom plan is stopping right there at the 360 mark. So I love that. Now, on the affordability side of it, what's about the average price for that smaller floor plan, that 3-bedroom? What's the average monthly payment running right now?
Yeah, your monthly payment's going to be sitting right around $2,300 a month for that.
Wow, okay.
There are variables, you know, that can affect that widely, but average, I would say around 23.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. No, so for $2,300 a month, if you only need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, you can get into this great community that's going to have these amazing amenities. You've got your own schools right here at the front of the neighborhood to take your kids all the way through junior high. No, I love that, and it's really nice to have a brand new product available in an affordable price. Something that I think is really important to have here in Angleton. And so I was really excited whenever I heard about this community coming, since it's been in the works for a little while, but they just really have opened up these model homes and started building. So no, I love that. Now, when we are talking about the affordability, the prices, things like that, can you talk to me a little bit about the financing on these homes and how that plays a role?
Yeah, financing is going to be rate buy downs that we have available, incentives, things of that sort. Using our preferred lender with that is what's going to really, be able to utilize it to the maximum with the financing options. But we just want you to find the home that you love and then tailor the financing to work for you. That's something that I think we really stand out with when it comes to that financing aspect, because it's not a one size fits all.
Yeah, no, I love that you brought that up with tailoring it to the specific customer and home buyer that you have, because whenever you think about, yeah, they're selling for $280, but what does that really mean? How much is that really costing me? Or, you hear different interest rates, 4.99, 5.99. Then, when you're considering being in the resale market, you're subject to, more of like the market rate. And so rate buy downs and other interest rates are just not as flexible maybe as some of the deals that they have with Hovnanian. So really what it comes down to is what's going to be your monthly payment? Will the lender work with you? And so, no, I love that you brought that up, because and that's one thing that Justin and I here in our team, we really want to make sure that when buyers contact us, that they're actually going to get a plan that works for them and their family, right? I mean, we could talk different interest rates all day, but really what we're talking about is, can I afford it on a monthly basis, right? Or, depending on how I want to structure my savings and, take vacations, am I going to buy a house and then not be able to do any of that? So, no, I'm glad you brought that up.
Absolutely.
Now, going back to the houses that you have out here just for a minute, you said that you have 6 different floor plans, and we talked privately about some of the different options. How many different options do they have on these floor plans, and what's really the range of what they can do? Because I think you said that these are more of kind of like the inventory style production versus a custom home, right?
Correct. And we definitely like to say personalization when it comes to that, because we're not a custom builder, right? So we have options to personalize our product, but we have 6 different collections that you can choose from, or palettes, I should say, within our looks collection. So 6 palettes, and then you have 2 different finishes that you can choose from within those palettes. Okay,
so you have 6 options for floor plans. You have 6 different palettes within those. And then there are 2 main styles that we talked about that don't refer to the palette necessarily. You have like really 2 different styles, I guess we should say, right?
Correct.
What are those 2 styles?
So you're gonna have a farmhouse style and a loft style.
Okay, and what are the real differences between the farmhouse style and the loft style?
Yeah, loft is gonna be more modern. So it's gonna have more of your brushed nickel finishes. You're gonna have the stainless steel undermounted sink. Biggest thing, like I said, is going to be those finishes being more brushed nickel, and pendant lighting above the countertops are going to be slightly different. Farmhouse is going to be more of the matte black finishes. You're going to have the farmhouse sink, so very much of that kind of country feel. Yeah,
no, I love that. And really it does, the farmhouse, obviously, it's kind of in the name, but it does have a more country feel, a little bit more rustic aesthetic. And no, and I also love what y'all do with the cabinets on these farmhouse products. That's not the same as the loft style, but really, from appliances to fixtures, I really think somebody would be able to find their dream home here with Hovnanian down here at, or that's what we call it for short, Hovnanian, KHOV. For short, we just call it KHOV typically, in case you weren't aware of the lingo.
There's so many pronunciations.
Yeah, there are a lot of pronunciations. But no, so I really think that that's tastefully done and really fits basically what people are looking for nowadays when they're thinking about getting new construction, right? Either you really like the farmhouse style, the more country, the more rustic, which down here in Angleton, you get a lot of people that are interested in that style. But then if that's not really your thing, you can go with the loft and you're going to get this more modern, updated looking, more sleek in terms of the overall appearance. And so I like that because, you know, you talked about how close we are to 288. There's people that'll buy in this community that will, you know, be working in either like maybe they have one of them like one of the people living in the home will maybe work in the med center, and then the other person in the home might be working in Freeport, right? So this is kind of like best of both worlds. You get these new schools, you get all the connectivity with the freeways, and then all the great amenities that Ashland has to offer. So yeah, no, I think that's really great. All right, so we talked about the size of the homes, we talked about the price of the homes, and we really talked about these amenities just a little bit, but I'd like to dive a little bit deeper in those. Is there anything currently completed, you know, playgrounds or anything, or is all of it proposed? And if that is the case, when are they going to be completed?
Yeah, so currently proposed at this minute.
Okay.
We have only been open since October,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
still
it's
newer. But we've gotten certain sidewalks in that are kind of surrounding the retention ponds that we have,
Right.
so not on the dirt anymore, which is fantastic. So just right now, just the trails, but slowly working on getting the other amenities. We're probably looking to about a year and a half. I know a lot of amenities in that sort with new communities are really kind of dependent on getting the community built. So the more people we can get living within the community, we're looking at that amenities accelerating in progress.
Okay, perfect. No, I love that you brought that up, that, you know, we need people down here buying these homes, and that is going to help propel this construction a little bit. But, you know, one thing that you may hear that, hey, they're not built yet, it may take a year, and that may be a detraction, but I don't think it should be, because the schools are already built, they're already running, right? You've got kids in classes, and that's an important thing. There have been neighborhoods, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but there's been neighborhoods that we've worked in where they said, oh, we're gonna build a school. And the school never came, right? They had the amenities, but they didn't get the elementary school that they were supposed to. So here, you get the benefit of knowing that, hey, this school is already here, it's up and running, kids are in classes, and so that's a big factor I think for a lot of the buyers that we would work with coming to this community, is that they are really excited that, you know, you're not going to go to one of the older schools in Angleton, because in Angleton they do still use my old elementary school is still being used, and I'm not saying it's a bad elementary school, but you have a brand new facility here ready right now, and that's not some future proposed thing. And so I think that at least is a big highlight for people that would be interested in the community.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. Whenever you have a buyer come in and they're looking at this community, what are really the things that they're most interested in?
I think in this area, there are quite a few people I had mentioned that are wanting to downsize.
Okay.
They own a lot of land, maybe, you know, older couple who just maybe less maintenance, right? It takes a lot to take care of land in that way. And so, and then on top of that, we're also having people who have lived with, you know, maybe parents for quite some time, and they're ready to find that first home, but they really love the community of Angleton and want to stay close. And so being able to find that affordable home and still be within their community that they grew up and loved, that's something that we're seeing a lot here too.
Yeah, no, I love that. And you know, this community, it's positioned in an area that you would have. I mean, we are surrounded by lots of acreage properties. Some of them are really large. Some of them are only 2 to 3 acres. But 2 to 3 acres to manage when you're aging and you just don't want to spend all the time mowing. And to have somebody mow 2 or 3 acres would be costly, right? So you could just come over here and get one of these brand new Hovnanian homes, right? Low maintenance. And then that's going to lead me into what I want to talk about next is the warranties and stuff. So getting out of these acreage properties that have a lot of maintenance, downsizing the home, or even just switching the home for something new with less land, I think is really I can see why these buyers would be attracted to move here. Not to mention the fact that they're going to be getting a pool and walking trails and ponds, things like that. So no, that is great. And then the first-time home buyers that are they maybe want to stay in the Angleton area, and maybe they have been either with parents or living in apartments, and those options are limited, right? And Angleton is an older community overall in terms of the age of home being sold. So having a new construction option, especially if it's your first time buying one of these houses, that's going to be warranted, right? So you're not going to spend a bunch of money to get into a house only to have to replace the AC right away or replace the roof. So can we talk about the warranties? Because that's such a big component. What are the warranties offered with these Hovnanian homes?
Yeah, we do a 1-2-6. So essentially 1 year, bumper to bumper, cosmetic, that's going to be taken care of within that first year. Second year is going to be more HVAC, electrical items, and then 6th year is going to be your structural warranty.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and so you're keeping really. Most every builder does offer this 1-2-6, but knowing that you're offering it as well, a great company like Hovnanian, who's been around a long time building in our area. I actually have a Hovnanian home myself.
Wait, I love that.
Yeah, now mine is a 90s build.
Hey, we'll take it.
And so it's in an older community, but I do wish it had some of the things that Ashland has to offer, right? So you're pairing a great builder with a great community in an area that really needs it. So I really do think that it's perfect. Now, are you seeing any objections with buyers that are coming to the community? Is there anything coming up that really they wish that it had or maybe was a little different?
It's funny because we get a mix of more land, not. Because adding on to that, we do have people who are coming maybe more from the city who are wanting something a little quieter, wanting the idea of having more land, going from maybe a townhome that doesn't really have a backyard. And they kind of imagine having, all of this yard space. And then we kind of get a little bit where like, oh, well, I wish there was more, or it's not enough. So a little bit of that. But I think the biggest thing, as far as the community goes, I think it is offering a lot of what people want. I just think overall kind of market and the fear that some people have as it goes with the market and just not being fully educated on what it looks like to move forward right now. I think that's what's stopping quite a few people.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of that going around, whether it's the resale market or new home construction. And we had another rep that mentioned to us that maybe a little bit of lack of urgency. But I think one thing that's important to note is getting into this neighborhood right now, before all of these amenities are completed, is really going to be the best time. Especially if you're planning on living in your next home for the next 5 to 7 years, right? Those amenities and other things are going to be finished out, and they may be nearing completion of the community at that time. And so the properties are going to get more expensive, right? The property values are only going to go up once those amenities are completed, or at least that's the perception, and that has been what has taken place in a lot of these communities, that these master plan communities, these high amenity communities. The last lots and the last homes sell for more than the first homes did, right?
Yeah, it's not always as appealing to go to a neighborhood that is kind of dirt, right? You're like,
Yeah.
what am I getting
Yeah.
into, right? And then you have, once the community's more developed, then it's like, oh, everyone's starting to show up and it's becoming, kind of that hot commodity.
Yeah.
And when that happens, demand's going to go up, which means your prices are going to go up. And
Yeah.
so getting in before and then kind of watching everyone else trickle in,
Right.
you have that advantage that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, no, so I love that you brought up supply and demand. Supply and demand plays a part in these communities, and that's really at the heart of what I was talking about, that, there's a lot of supply at the moment, right? So you can pick the lot you want, make sure you're getting the best long-term value. But as these homes sell and as the community becomes more finished, there might be an increase in demand, but a decrease in supply, which means the price will come up. And so, that is one thing that me and my team can help you decide on whether or not this is the right next move for you and your family. Being a certified residential appraiser, I can help you to analyze the investment side of buying a home in this community, and then we can just game plan whether or not this is the right fit, if this is where you want to be, if it meets, and I think would exceed some of your expectations. Now, you may not get a half an acre lot in this community, but I think really there's a lot here that you're going to be living in the neighborhood more than you would be living in the backyard. You're definitely going to be able to utilize that space. But you could go to the parks, right? It might be better. I love taking my kids to the parks around our neighborhood versus just in the backyard, or even playing out in the front yard, because then all the other kids, when they're getting home from school, they're like, oh, hey, let's go, throw the ball, let's play basketball, let's ride bikes, different things like that. And so I think that really this community, building a community around this neighborhood is going to be key to enjoying it if you have young ones that really need that connection and community themselves, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that that's a good point there. Now, if somebody wants to secure one of these homes today, right, the ones that are already under construction, what is the down payment, and maybe I shouldn't say down payment, but the earnest money deposit required to secure one and get under contract?
Yeah, your initial investment deposit, essentially that earnest money, is going to be $5,000.
Okay.
That's also within flexibility, right? We have options if it's something that, hey, we need to do something this month and then let's pay the remainder next month. That's something that's great, and the flexibility that we offer too.
Yeah.
But also it's great because it goes towards your down payment, like you're saying, right? So it's not like this is just going nowhere, or it's being put back into your financial aspect and investment. So, but $5,000.
Okay, yeah, so $5,000. And some people, especially a first-time home buyer, they might be like, oh, $5,000, but I mean, obviously you're gonna have to come up with more money than that to close. But sometimes giving that up to get under contract seems like a big deal. But if we're talking about a payment around $2,300, $2,500 a month, if you were gonna rent a property at that price, you'd have to come up with that at the time that you signed the lease. So, because it's usually first and last month's rent, or 1 month's rent security deposit plus first month. So you'd have to come up with $5,000 to be in a home just like this, even if you were leasing, right? So no, I love that you kind of just laid out what the deposit is and what it goes towards. It contributes towards their closing cost, and then. All right, so since we were talking about costs to get under contract, a lot of our clients, they ask us, oh, well, do I need a realtor because I want to buy new construction? So do I have to have one? And I tell them that we've already made agreements. So has Hovnanian already made an arrangement to cover realtor commissions?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, there's no extra cost at all to using us to purchase a new construction home, and then we can better guide you through the process. And then have you found that it actually makes the process smoother?
Absolutely. I think about it in a way of you have two people in your corner rather than just one.
Yeah.
I value our realtors exponentially. I think you guys are phenomenal at what you do, and the partnership between new construction and real estate, the realtors, it just makes the process so smooth.
Yeah.
And I feel like the buyers are going to be more confident knowing, again, you have two people in your corner looking out for you and getting exactly what you want.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's one of the reasons that we love working with our great new construction partners like Hovnanian. And, I always like to say that, it's your job to make sure that the home is perfect for the client. It's my job to make sure that the deal is perfect for the client, right? Make sure that their plan is perfect. And I love that we get to work together in that way. You can make sure that the builder itself actually puts the product that the client's expecting. I'm there to make sure of it and to back them up on the rest of the plan when it comes to figuring out the financing of the deal and, really the life arrangement that happens when you do buy a home, because this is one of the most stressful things that they say that you can do, right? So you don't have to pay anything extra to use our services, and you've got another person in your corner to make sure that it is the best thing for you, that Hovnanian's giving you the deal that you want and need, and then that it's not going to cost you anything extra to have full representation on that, and make sure that we protect that long-term investment, because that's really, when you buy a home, you're investing in something that will have value over time. And so we appreciate that, and that's one of the reasons why we love working with y'all, is that you really want to help our clients out and not make it a financial burden on them. I appreciate that. That's really it's really as easy as contacting us, talking to us about a plan. And I was going to ask you, do you have, when you mention these downsizers or people that are looking to downsize their home, how many, what's the ratio of that? Because I imagine that they also need to sell a home or sell a piece of property in order to come and buy one in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah, it's actually quite often that we have people who are needing to sell their current home in order to purchase a new one. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people know too, with new construction and new communities, that when we have this much space kind of to be able to build your next home, you have the time and flexibility to sell that current home. So you're not locked like inventory. You either have to have it under contract or sold already. They don't do a ton of what we call like contingencies, right? Where you need to sell your home in order to move into a new one. And so we have those opportunities here. So buyers are not having to be stressed about losing the opportunity of buying that new home that they want, because they still own their current home. Right.
No, and I think that that's an important thing to mention, is that based on their building style, and that these are more of an inventory, ready to go type home, still with options, but it is more of the ready to go type home, turnkey home option. We need to make sure that if you do have a home to list and you're interested in buying in this community, let's get a market analysis done on your home. Let's see how soon we can sell it and for what price we can sell it. And that way you can take all of that into consideration when you do come and get under contract here with Jessica out here at Hovnanian. So we thank you so much for sitting down and meeting with me and discussing the home. And Justin's got a couple questions that he'd like to go over with you, but I really appreciate you having us out and explaining your product out here.
Absolutely, Cody. It was such a pleasure.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Ready?
Jessica Sanchez.
Yes.
Thank you for having us down here.
Course.
Rosharon has just been exploding, so we're trying to do as much down here as we possibly can. Our first question actually comes from Miriam. She works up in Crosby, Texas. She's one of the sales managers up there. And that question is, why should someone buy from you?
Why not? Just kidding. No. I take a lot of pride in the home buying process. Being able to go through that process myself really gives you a better understanding of how it goes, the emotions that you feel, and how to really just understand that you're kind of solving a problem at the end of the day for someone, right? I'm not trying to convince you to buy something that you don't need or don't want. Like, I'm solving a problem and I'm guiding you to that solution. So, yeah.
I love it. Well, hopefully Miriam sees that and that answers that question.
Yes.
And I think that was a great response.
Thank
So
you.
how long have you been in new construction?
I've been in new construction for 2 years.
Okay. What got you into new construction?
Yes. So I actually was a dance teacher prior.
Okay.
So I grew up dancing competitively my entire life, was teaching for majority of it. I thought that was going to be kind of it. But I really wanted to get a sense of, building a financial freedom, right?
Right.
And dance is such a passion, but it doesn't always allow for that opportunity. And I had a really amazing friend who worked for Pulte. And this was how I got introduced to new construction in the first place. And I thought, you had to be a realtor, you had to have a license, like all of these things that I just knew nothing about and was intimidated actually by, until he said, I think you would be really good at this. Like, I really think you should try. And I would go and actually look at $1 million homes around Houston on the weekend. And then I found out about new construction and I was like, you know what, I want to try. And then again, being able to know the home buying process too. And I was like, I could help a lot of people, and it's something so much grander than I really had imagined. So I went ahead and took the leap.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I know when I hear a lot of agents talk, now that we're getting into we started a team and everything, and now we're starting to get more questions from other agents. And there's been so many conversations where people have with us and they kind of don't realize what goes into being an agent. And I've recommended so many people to start off in new home sales because, it's kind of got, even though it is commission based, I suppose,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about your, but it kind of gives them that W-2 structure, if you will, that people are used to, versus 1099. It's like, good luck, you're out in the world, and now you got to manage this whole business with also trying to learn, the industry in itself.
Absolutely. That's why I commend you guys so much, because it's a lot and you have to keep up with so many trends and new laws and also get your clients. And there's so much that is entailed, but that's why I respect you guys so much. And I know that most of you guys have so much passion for it, or else you really wouldn't, be doing it. So to be able, again, to partner with people and make those connections, that's something I've loved throughout this whole experience with real estate.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. It definitely is one of those industries where if you don't have the passion for it, you're not going to make it. And talking about the, how much there is to keep up with it. I mean, there's a reason why I got so much gray hair going on up here. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. So being in 2 years now, I mean, that's not brand new. How have you seen this industry kind of change since you've been in it?
Yeah, so I would say that we're really trying, I think, to pivot with the market, right? It's ever changing always, but I think really leaning into how we can still build really good quality homes at an affordable price. So that might mean, collections, packages, things more tailored as one rather than giving all of these options. So I think that's a trend throughout really most builders that aren't really custom. They're trying to create more affordability for our buyers without losing quality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it makes total sense. Make it as easy as possible for people. I mean, that's a big thing that we're seeing now, especially in a day and age where so many people, obviously the jobs are demanding, but a lot of people now, they have side hustles. So anything that they can make easier and kind of save them time, I think that's a big benefit.
Absolutely, yeah.
So talking about making, new packages and everything to make the home buying process a little bit easier, what are some of the other objections you're seeing from people in the market right now?
I think they are definitely affected by what happened during the time in COVID. I call it kind of the unicorn, right, of the market.
I hope so, anyway.
I know so it's trying to figure out and get people to understand that this may never happen again, right? You just never know, and building the confidence in those buyers to move forward. And it's scary, you don't want to leave such a rate that you obtained during that time, or the price. It's just, you just don't know, and that uncertainty, I think, is a huge objection right now for people just waiting to see if it could happen again.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's probably one of our biggest objections when, especially like with us, like it's a little bit weird because we do a lot of stuff with new construction, but we also do, resales and everything. We list homes, we, help people buy homes, everything like that. But as far as a new construction for us, it's a lot of relocation clients, people moving from like Louisiana, North Carolina, California, Florida. So, they're kind of in a more like have to position, or it's people that are looking to buy their first home. New construction is phenomenal to kind of introduce you to the home buying process and
Absolutely.
get you used to home ownership because the maintenance is so low. But with our resale clients, people who are trying to sell a home, to buy a home, possibly upgrade, or even empty nesters who are looking to downsize a little bit, I mean, they think that interest rates are going to keep dropping, and we're like, that was such a one-off. It was exactly what you said. It was the unicorn. We're not going to see 3% interest rates again, hopefully. And I say hopefully, I would love to have it 3% interest rates, but we know the chain of events that led up to seeing 3% interest rates, and I hope for that reason, we don't ever have to go through that again. So, we're dealing with that in the resale market as well.
Again, it's having to build the confidence again for that uncertainty, because people just are not aware, especially if it was a first time, because I was able to buy within that, time period, and that was my first purchase. So I won't lie and say it's not a scary thing to try to find something now in this time, but showing people that it's not out of reach.
Right.
It's just an adjustment, and everything's adjusting. So moving when people aren't moving is truly what's going to put you at an advantage.
It really is. I mean, there's a reason why more millionaires were made after '08, because people were so terrified to buy real estate. And obviously there was a bigger chain of events there, but you always buy when people are buying the least, because that's when demand's the lowest and that's when you're going to get the best deal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you feel are some of the biggest misconceptions people have when they're buying new construction homes?
Yeah. This might be a little controversy, but I've actually heard when I first started and worked with a lot of first-time home buyers, it was that they didn't really need an inspection on new homes. And we get inspections done, right? We build all of our homes up to code, but they're also done by humans, right? And I always encourage my buyers to get a third-party inspection done. And it actually has validated a little bit of our quality when those reports come back, and it's like, hey, those are minimal things. So it just also gives confidence to the buyers, like we're building quality, not just code product, but quality product. So I always encourage people to get a third-party inspection, even if it's new construction.
Absolutely.
And then, I think the price aspect of new construction being more expensive is still there. I think it's pivoting slightly. I think people are understanding the benefits of new construction with the rates, with the incentives. People are understanding that it is going to be more competitive right now, and they may have a better option that way too.
Definitely. So before we started everything, when we first got here today, we were actually talking about another thing that we run into a lot, particularly with new construction, and especially being down here in Rocheron, which kind of has the, and this isn't like a Texas thing, like I'm not going to say this is rural in the grand scheme of Texas, because there's a lot of cow pastures out here, but it's not what you would see like going out to West Texas. But, we hear a lot of negativity from the community, people in the residencies concerned about new construction.
Yeah.
So if you could help them, with their mentality or peace of mind, what is something you would say about that?
Yeah, I think it's scary to think of change, and people, this is a very small town. It's been a small town for a while, and people are scared of what that's going to do to their property. But at the end of the day, I feel like these areas are going to grow. And if you think about growth, I want people to think about what comes with that growth, right? You want the more options in your grocery stores. You want to have some of those nicer places to eat, or the activities to do with your family. And sometimes that's not always accessible in the smaller towns. So with this growth, long term is just going to have more benefit and opportunity, I think, for people. So it's understandable to feel a little scary of what's to come, but with every place that's grown, it's brought more opportunity.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, because I live on the old side of Pearland, and when we first moved here, there was no sushi restaurant. And I was like, man, I love my sushi. Like, can we get something over here? But But, you know, as we were talking about beforehand too, you know, and I'll just use Pearland as an example. I see it all the time in our area where they're like, can we please get a Trader Joe's? You know, but then they're having a new construction neighborhood and everybody's all up in arms about it. And I'm like, okay, well, where do you think Trader Joe's is going to go? Do you think it's going to be this middle of nowhere town, or do you think it's going to be somewhere that's going to have a population to support their business?
Correct.
So it's like, you know, pick your poison here. I don't know
Absolutely.
what to tell people on that one. That's one that we're still trying to manage
Yeah.
ourselves.
I think, you know, it just takes people in a way being open-minded about everything, and that it's still going to have that small town feel. It really is. I don't think this area is going to just overly, you know, explode like that. So that's something really great about Angleton, Rocheron area. Like, you're still gonna have that small town feel, but with that modern amenity and lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I drive through some of these parts, I'm like, they should film a Hallmark movie here. Yeah.
I love the cows.
Yeah,
I truly
yeah.
love the cows. On my way to work every morning, I'm like, I love it.
Absolutely. Hallmark, if you're watching this, you know, and you need like the business girl from New York to go to a small town and fall in love with the local baker, like, this is the one. Like, come down here, please.
Tell me and I'll do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got an actress waiting for you. You know, it'll be perfect. So, with that being, you know, kind of in a more rural area here with new construction, I mean, we've got two totally different ends of the spectrum as far as housing goes. Do you have any like differences in appraisal gaps? Is that something y'all have run into, or?
I think because we're still so new that we haven't quite dealt with that yet. It may come up. Again, you just don't know, again, with the kind of range that you're dealing with. But another thing with that, I don't want people to be scared of something like that too, because with new construction, they're also willing to work. They know that these things can happen. And so sometimes they're like, hey, what can we do to help move you forward still? Is it maybe extra credit? Is it something that we need to do to kind of bridge that gap?
Yeah, that makes total sense. And then, you know, with that not being as big of a concern, are you seeing, you know, what is your competition around here? How do you feel like you guys kind of stand out apart from your competition?
So we are against 5 other builders just in this community alone. And I think for us, we really promote affordable luxury.
Yeah.
You know, this is gonna be not your most expensive home, but it's also not your cheapest home, right? But the value that you get, it really shows in the price and what you're paying for it. And then resale around here, again, you're seeing people with lots of land, right? And they don't really want to maintain it as much. So they're coming here to get away from that. But I would say we're very competitive within this area.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that completely. I mean, K-Hov, you know, like I've told people before, I mean, K-Hov is one of my personal favorite builders. And similar to Cody, fun fact, I also have a K-Hov home.
Double whammy, I love it.
Right, and I can't say it was by total design. We are neighbors.
Yeah.
So it's kind of expected, you
Love
know,
that.
that we would have the same home builder as far as that goes. What have you seen in your community as like the fastest moving price point right now?
I would say anything under 300,000
Okay.
is really where we're sitting at. I think 250 is a high sweet spot for a lot of people, but 280 is definitely not without range either. Again, interest rates can make that obtainable and give you more buying power. But I would say under 300,000 is really a sweet spot in this area.
Okay, good deal. And for that price point, is that like a 2-story home, or is that going to be a 1-story home, or what are we looking at?
Depends. For us, it's going to be more 1-story home.
Okay.
Little higher on the 3s are going to be your 2-story. But again, with financial options, it may not be as out of reach as you think it is.
Oh, especially down here where the property taxes probably aren't crazy, like, you know, in some of the areas. I mean, some of the other areas we've been into, I mean, they've been as high as like 3.5% once you factor in the mud tax and everything. And we're like, yeesh, you know, that actually is what kills a lot of deals for us, is between taxes and then also having to carry windstorm insurance. And then, you know, some areas require flood insurance still. So, you know, a lot of times it's not the price of the home so much as those other factors. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I think too, with new construction, tax might be high at the moment, but truly, when you build those more homes within the community, I've seen it, start to dwindle down, and they're divvying that up between, the residents. And so I've seen some changes. I actually used to work over in Windrose Green, which is like just down the street, and
Yep.
we started at 3.2, and we managed to get down to about 2.98. So it makes a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars, at least hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. And yeah, we like Windrose Greens. We actually did some work with Ezra. Check out that video.
Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, that just speaks to us because we know the development opportunity as well. So down here, which is why we're, covering this area
Absolutely.
so much. So how often are people having to sell their current home to move into this community?
Yeah, it's pretty often that people are needing to sell homes. But again, with partnerships like what we offer, it's not something that needs to stop people. But I do see it quite often with people needing to sell their current homes.
Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, I mean, that's something we help with people, obviously. If you need to list your home, let us know. Yeah, that's something we do. And, we take a lot of non-traditional, obviously we still do all the traditional marketing tactics, but we do a lot of different things that a lot of agents simply don't do. So we typically can help get our listings sold a little bit quicker. So if they're on a timeline with you, obviously that's a big benefit, going on with our team and making that work out. And then I would imagine you also probably get a lot of first-time home buyers in this community. So how often are you guys having to do lease buyouts?
Yeah, that too. Actually, lease buyouts are a big thing as well, which there's plenty of opportunity with that too. Sometimes it's, again, with new construction, you might even have an opportunity to kind of time out your lease perfectly with building. So you're not having to do double payments or even maybe break your lease, right? You might have enough opportunity to be like, hey, I'm gonna go cut it off at this time. Perfect, your home is gonna be complete within the next month, and then you just transition right into it. So, but there are quite a few people who are still in leases and are wanting to get out of that.
Sure, yeah, and that's a service we offer as well. So if anybody, needs help with that, that's something we can help them navigate around. I'm not sure what you guys do as far as that goes, but, just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
So what would happen in the event of someone is working with your preferred lender and then we have a rate drop mid-build?
Great question. So with that, typically, depending on rates, if it's not locked in yet, right, you'll lock it in about 45 days before you actually close on your house. Now, if you get a fixed rate, there's always options to talk with our preferred lender, see what we can do, if there's a way to maybe match that. What's that going to cost? Is that something that we can put into? But I would just present it if that happens, and we would do what we can to best fit that.
Okay, perfect. That sounds easy enough.
Yeah.
And then you and Cody talked about incentives. What is the most common way you're seeing people structure their incentives right now?
Common, I would say closing costs. But I would say how I would advise is rate buy downs.
Yes.
100%. People, I think, sometimes look at the price and they just think, okay, if I can get it at the lowest price, that's going to be what I need. But then their rates, sitting at a 5 or a 6, and they don't always realize what that rate would do for them if they have a 3 or a 4 at a higher price point. So rate is always my go-to if anybody asks me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you 100% there. We were doing a case study the other day. I think we used like a $400,000 house as our case study, and we took like an extra $25,000 and we took like a big amortization table. Sorry to throw out all these crazy terms right now, but yeah, we did, if they were to put that extra 25 grand towards the price of the home as a down payment, or if they did it towards the interest rate, and it was something crazy. Like it would save them like $160,000 over the course of that loan, versus like a couple $100 off their monthly. So they were like, obvious choice here.
Unless it's like kind of presented to you in that way, people they can't really visualize it, right? They can't really understand it. It's been different for a lot of years, and home prices were obviously like a lot lower, and things were different. But to see it in that way, you're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. So now we've kind of talked about the home and everything. So let's talk about the community.
Okay.
Are there any commercial development projects that you know of?
Actually, yes. So there is a place, it's going to be Stancy Ranch. It's actually right behind a Buc-ee's, which everyone loves a Buc-ee's.
Yes, absolutely.
There is talk about having some commercial businesses there. Not sure exactly quite yet, but business and residential. I think they were even talking about some like condos in those areas as well. But then we're also going to be building some new gas stations, some other retail areas within this community as well. So on top of having everything else, you have the convenience of a gas station and other local shops that you can have right out your front door.
Perfect. So that's so as of right now, it's just announced as kind of like a retail strip center.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, we do a lot of pre-leasing for those. So I actually started off in commercial real estate.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's always hard to know until the center's built, and then you can kind of find out. Any idea about a Starbucks by chance?
Actually, there's a Starbucks 8 minutes from here.
Perfect. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how can you not?
Right down Velasco, super easy. And it's actually, I will say, it's always fast service.
Good.
Always fast.
Good. That's a deal breaker.
I know.
I got to get my iced Americano or my
In and
nitro
out.
cold brew when I need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. What's your order at Starbucks?
I kind of go between. I'm kind of a sweet coffee drinker. I do the caramel macchiato or just a nice blonde vanilla latte.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You got to try a brown sugar shaken espresso with banana cold foam.
You're not the first person to say that, and I haven't thought about the banana cold foam though.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed until someone told me. I was like, hold on. Yeah.
The chocolate croissant, it's my go-to.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice. So how many homes are y'all currently building per month?
So right now, per month, I think 2 homes per month. Also depending on sales, right? If we can sell more homes, it's pretty much 1 for 1. Sell a home, open a lot, start building.
Perfect.
And around 2 a month.
Okay, perfect. So pretty much at any given time, y'all probably have an inventory home ready to go?
Correct.
Okay, that's good. That's great, because I know a lot of people, they, as much as they want to like romanticize about, building out this home and making all the options, they start to realize what that really means. And then also, the price they have to put down for like the upgrades and everything. And they're like, okay, maybe we should just buy this and upgrade it or change things out as necessary. So we have a lot of people that kind of have that realization once they get into it. So that's good that you have options ready to go.
Yeah, and you're looking at about a 6-month time frame with build for us, depending on how everything works. We do get crazy weather out here sometimes, so just be prepared for anything when it comes to build. I think that's with anywhere you go, right? That there could be delays just depending on Mother Nature herself.
Oh, I know today, I might put some shots of it outside, but it's like, we're in Kansas right now. There might be a tornado
Bloopers at
coming
the
up.
end.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is really windy out today. So, I could definitely see, and especially down here when it feels like when it rains, it's going to rain for like 5 or 6 days straight. I don't think we ever just get a random shower. It's either nothing or, it's pouring rain, but then you got the mud, on top of that. That makes construction really hard as well.
It does, yes. But new construction's always going to be more innovative in the way that they build their developments and communities. And so, flood zones, things like that, it's something that they will never have to worry about. Only thing that's going to benefit them is they're going to get more water and more, water views. It's going to just really amplify it in that way.
Right.
But something that they wouldn't have to worry about with these newer communities.
Absolutely. So where are you seeing people kind of move from when they move to this community? Are they coming from out of state, or are they right up the road, or what are you seeing the most?
I've seen a little more within Houston, more kind of Pearland area actually. That area is starting to grow, and people are wanting to kind of still have that slow life, not a ton of traffic. So that's where I'm seeing most of it coming through. But we've had quite a few people coming, even from Arizona. I've seen people more on the East Coast as well coming this way, affordability. So
No, I mean, that was a big reason why I moved down to Texas, is because the house I have now, like, when we bought it, it would have probably been triple. I'm a transplant. I'm part of the problem here in Texas. I'm sorry. Like, I'm the reason we got the sushi restaurant in Pearland. You're welcome. But affordability was a major thing. And also the no state income tax here in Texas was really nice.
Yes, it does a lot.
There was a lot of reasons, but Texas has been a lot of fun. So Arizona, I would not have guessed that one. That's interesting. I figured it'd be like Colorado, Louisiana, North Carolina, Florida, California. That's kind of like our big five, if you
I
will.
think they like
So
the heat still.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
They're like, if they like that kind of weather, they're like, well, this is close enough and we can still get some good homes.
Right. The only difference between here and there, they're like, why is your air wet?
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
I still haven't quite got used to it yet.
It's a different animal. It's really humid here in Houston, so just a heads up.
Yeah.
But we have AC, it's all good.
Your AC is gonna work overtime here. So I know the amenities are not built out here yet, but knowing what you know about what's to come in this community, what do you think you would be most likely to use once it's open?
I think the pools. I would definitely use a resort style pool. We kind of talk about heat,
Yes.
right? Things like that. I would take my walk on the trail from my house to the amenity center, go and dunk in my pool. By the time I get home, I'm already dry.
Definitely.
We're ready to go, but I would say the pools for sure.
Good. And then do you have like proposed plans for, the amenities that are gonna be built out here?
We're going to have the 2 pools, so resort style pool, Olympic junior size lap pool, so different types of exercises that you're wanting. A clubhouse, which is more, I think, going to be an event center to rent out, have parties, things like that. 7 miles of walking trails, pocket parks, and some playgrounds.
Yeah. So if you want to run a half marathon on a Saturday morning, just do 2 laps.
Get your
and you're good to
10K
go.
steps in, you're ready to go.
Perfect.
Yes.
And then if not, no big deal. I have to know.
Okay.
You have some giant lakes out here. Any chance that your pools are going to overlook those lakes?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But you never know. Who
Yeah.
knows? Things could happen in between then and there. But as of now, not quite.
Okay, got it. That was just a personal curiosity.
It would be nice.
It would be
We
cool.
need like an infinity pool
Yes.
and over, look, that would be awesome.
Exactly. I'm not going to tell you which competitor, but there is a competitor that has it. I'll show you some videos later.
Okay, I'll show you.
So, and then if you were just looking to build a home in this community, what lot and floor plan would you pick?
I think I would definitely get one with the water view, no back neighbors. Also comes with the iron rod fencing, so I always have my view. But if it was just me, I would build our goldenrod, which is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath option. It's pretty much like the model, just slightly smaller. So
Sure.
it fits with that. But second option would definitely be our model, the passion flower.
Gotcha. Good to know. The passion flower. Okay.
passion flower,
I got to
yeah.
look at that one on the map.
Don't ask me who makes the names, I don't know.
Right. All right. So beyond bringing a buyer with a briefcase full of cash, how can agents best support you? Real estate agents,
Yes. I think social media is big. I love to connect on social media. I love to advertise what you guys have going on. I love for you guys to advertise what we have going on. Just be able to have a broader kind of inventory of all the areas. And I think always like word of mouth, right? To show that have faith in what we build and what we have if you guys truly feel that way, and know that we're an option, and always show clients like, hey, this may not be what you want right now, but I want you to just take a look and see what you think, because it could surprise you. But biggest thing, social media and just like word of mouth for us.
Sure. So exposure and visibility. Got it. Speaking of exposure and visibility, I'm going to talk to you, K-Hov corporate, for a second. I was coming down 288, which is the main highway, to come into this neighborhood, and there was no signage. Let's get that together.
Yes, please.
We're going to do as much as we can on the virtual side, but we need some real signage out here. Yeah. If you could tell agents one thing after being 2 years in the new construction, you can look in that camera right there. It can be pick up your phone, or it can be whatever you want. What do you want to tell agents?
I would say trust us. Trust that we are on your side, that we want to help your buyers just as much as you want to help your buyers. And also pick up your phone and text us or call us back. That'd be great.
I agree. I'm going to piggyback. Pick up your phone as well.
Yes. Put your ringer on or something.
Yes, exactly. So we have covered so much. We've covered everything, a lot about the community. We've covered everything about the neighborhood. So with all of that in mind, if you could think of one question for me to ask the next person that's going to be sitting in this chair, what would it be?
I would want to ask them, what is an upgrade that most buyers maybe don't add but regret later?
Ooh, that's a good one. I've never, that never even popped in my mind when I was trying to think of like.
Because I think there are a lot of options, you know, and sometimes people are like, Oh, like a gas line, for instance,
Yeah.
right? We have that option to add in a gas line in the back and have an outdoor kitchen. Some people don't. Some people are like, man, it's a really great night with a beautiful sunset and I want some burgers out on my patio.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't have it, right? So it's something that I think about, but would be really interesting.
Yeah, I know that's something I wish I had at my house because I'm so tired of lugging propane tanks to Tractor Supply Company. Like,
Right?
you know,
Yeah.
so that's a good one. And then if you could recommend any one person to be sitting across from us to highlight their community, who would it be?
I would say Tanner Bogan from Aldina at DRB. They are a new community as well within the area that I think would be phenomenal to have some conversations with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tanner, we're coming for you. And if y'all want to come check out this community, bring Jessica here at Caramel Macchiato, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. That was
Thank you.
great.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.